FaZe, I'll tell you what, Raleigh, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. A good old CDL Saturday, and we are starting things off with a banger, Jay.
Oh my God, this is a perfect way to start, because obviously if you're Vegas, you've already taken these guys down once, but if you're Minnesota, you were the #1 seed coming into this tournament, and unfortunately you find yourself in round 1 of elimination. Everything has to be on point today, no mistakes.
And it has to versus a team in the Vegas Legion, which just feels like they've got all the momentum right now. A W today versus the Minnesota Røkkr would give this franchise their best placement at a LAN since the very first year of the CDL back in 2020.
That's crazy.
These guys have got a lot of fire right now, a lot to fight for.
Without question, man, but the way that the Vegas Legion have been playing so far this weekend, they have had some really tough matchups.
Yeah.
They got reverse swept by LA Thieves to start us off. They get a 3-2 Game 5 victory over Boston Breach. Then they fall, then they take the W versus Elevate all the way into Game 5. These guys have been pushing the distance basically every single series, and the way that they ended off last night versus Atlanta, it could have went either way, man. That was such a close series for the boys.
And it feels like, too, when we talk about the Vegas Legion, it's not the primary characters that you thought. Like we were talking a lot in the early stages of the year about, it could be the Temp Show, it could be Clay. Lately, man, it feels like we're hearing a lot from the SMGs. I'm hearing that TJ's frying. I'm hearing the Pro Loot was going off versus the Atlanta FaZe. They've got really a very solid thing going from two players that maybe we weren't 100% expecting to come out and fire away. But let's go ahead and take a look at our maps and modes as we start off this day #1 in a very, very spicy manner. And there you have them, Jay. We're headed to Embassy first.
Oh, Embassy to start us off. A lot of these guys have history. Both of these squads do. They played it in their previous series, obviously for Vegas Legion. They won 250-248 versus Atlanta FaZe. On the opposite side for Minnesota, they fell short all the way into Game 4 yesterday versus Toronto. And it just came down to a couple of these hills. Minnesota put themselves in a great position when they needed to rotate, but at that P4 is when Toronto were able to get basically a full 120 hold on 2 different hard points. And then when they needed to rotate and get a hold at Kitchen, they could not find a break. So this map #1 is so damn important for both of these teams, but just the way that Minnesota have been performing in Search and Destroy, a lot more for them in my opinion.
Alrighty, it's time to start off the day. Raleigh, are you excited?
Okay.
There it is. Okay, well, it'll get better as the day goes on, but they are awake. And I cannot wait to get this one going. Minnesota v Vegas. Embassy hardpoint, here we go. As Røkkr are able to hop on the board first, and we're looking through the eyes of the vet and Clayster for Vegas.
Right now, Røkkr do a great job of just trying to get as much time as they can off of P1, but we know either one of these squads are not going to fight for that majority of the time. You want to make sure you're focused on that parking lot. Trying to flip those spawns going in towards P2, but now it's on TJ. Finds himself in towards bottom laundry. He's just trying to keep them off the point, but final 30, you got to make sure you're rotating if you're Røkkr. You cannot be spawning out towards orange, because now Vegas Legion are currently in the rotation win percentage.
Oh, they've got 2 down instantly, so with that in mind, they're going to have their eyes on the time. TJ, the first one to pile in a few of those points, but with 15 seconds left to go, every single one of those arrows quickly gets directed to the exact position that Clay is locking down right now. So many eyes on Clay, his first time on the main stage here at Major 1. And already in a big gunfight here versus Cammy.
Yeah, as long as he's just playing his life right here, he's allowing his teammates to eventually set up the pinch. Look at your mini-map. ProLu flanks all the way around back kitchen. He should be able to find that initial kill. And he does onto Cammy, but now the break does come in. Afro takes down Clay. Now all of Vegas spawning out towards orange. This is going to be a difficult break, but ProLu at least takes him off the time.
Guy who's been playing very, very well lately for Vegas Legion and ProLu. Try to put in some work with the SMG. It's attached to deal with. That's going to be job done. Temp for the first, TJ for the second, and ProLu for the third. A great little break comes in once more for Legion. 25 very valuable points still to fight for. Rotation battles going down as well, but it appears that P2 is going to go the way of Las Vegas unless Player 5 and Attach has something to say about it.
Yeah, Attach versus Temp for this remaining 15 seconds. Temp is able to take him down, but the rotation is going to be in favor of Minnesota. You already have control of orange. TJ is able to get that information, not able to pick up the kill though. Afro was laying nice on his belly. Now going over towards the AC hill, that's going to be 3 dead in the feed. Should allow Minnesota to get fully set up.
See what they can do with it. It feels like the first hard point where they've really been able to slow the game down a little bit. That absolutely can value a player like Afro. Ready and waiting, and how about the snap? Sheesh. The instant snap from Afro. Granted, it is a trade, but it gives Røkkr a little bit more information to work off of, and from there, this hill looks to be going the way of Røkkr all the way around. 30 down and 30 to go. The advantage firmly in their control, but the biggest hard point is still upon us, Jay.
Yeah, Vegas Legion just got to slow this down. This has been a flawless hold for Minnesota to now give themselves a nice little comfortable lead going towards the next hill. They are not in control of the spawns going towards bottom PD, but at least they're getting this remaining time. Should be able to put them up by almost 50 points. Great shots coming in from Cammy. He's on a 4 spree. Can potentially earn himself that airstrike. But TJ, he's actually able to break in with about 10 seconds left. Now Vegas Legion set themselves up pretty well. They're in control of the spawns. They know exactly where all Minnesota are coming from. You just have to hold your irons.
Hold your irons, but it feels like even when you do that, Afro, it doesn't matter. The guy is absolutely beaming this weekend. Lots of questions on how if he was going to be able to translate from online to LAN, and he has absolutely done that from the top rope. Eliminates his second, eliminates his third. Hungry for more, and Røkkr break instantly.
It's a beautiful break from Røkkr, all led by the plays on Afro. He's not going to stop. He finds another one onto TJ. Now the spawns are going to flip. All of Vegas Legion spawning out towards parking lot. They might have to just chalk this one up because you know how impactful that kitchen hill can be as Bance finds 2. Great shots with the fast nav. Unfortunately, he gets traded by Temp. But this has been a great answer from Minnesota. They didn't start off with the initial time, but they get the break, and they're keeping this comfortable lead.
Oh my goodness, Afro is just not losing any close quarter engagements. However, this was the struggle that we saw yesterday from Røkkr. It was the P4 to P5 rotation. This time it is Afro, this time it is Bance who come out on top. We're getting a lot of love to Afro, by the way. Bance just singing a casual 12 and 7. A catalyst to what at least gave Minnesota a map victory yesterday versus Toronto. Bance trying to have a similar impact. As he drops, Vegas Legion with a little bit of time to soak. Temp hanging out in the kitchen. He's lost 2 of his teammates, so the comms are gonna have to be fiery. As now he's the sole man inside of the OBJ. Here comes Røkkr. And they drop him again. Another break for Minnesota.
Yeah, right there, the setup was just a little weak right there from Vegas. Once the player drops in towards the back of the kitchen, which was Priestahh, they find a second kill, and then at that point, they're both spawning out. It's a 4v2 in the point, and Minnesota, they get the break. This has been a beautiful break from them. Just continuously grow this lead. Vegas Legion are just playing from the back foot. You are rotating, but you're just not holding your setups properly. Final 10 seconds at this P5 hardpoint. TJ still gonna put on pressure. He's able to find that 2, but only getting 10 seconds is not gonna win you this game. Now going over towards P1, Vegas Legion needs to not allow Minnesota to get a bunch of time here, but they need to respond once again with that great P2 hold.
Yeah, you're already kind of put in an awkward spot as your Legion, down the way that you are. You want to try to value P2, but as you mentioned, buddy, you also can't give away time at P1, and even when you're rotating, it feels like it really hasn't mattered. Røkkr, in terms of their gameplay, the SMGs have come out to fry. Everybody across the board is having a phenomenal start to this hardpoint, and that's a scary sign already if you're a Legion fan. Røkkr, not too commonly have they won opening hardpoints, but these boys are coming out firing right now.
Yeah, their opening hardpoint so far in the season is 2 and 6, 33% win rate in opening hardpoints. But if you are Minnesota, you can take this map, number 1. You will set yourself up beautifully for this. It's now. You're going to see Vegas Legion just keep them off of that P1 time, but now the spawns do flip. This is where Vegas Legion, if they can get a great hold on that P2 once again, can get themselves right back into this game. You just have to hold the pressure coming in from street.
Oh, and Pro narrowly able to stay alive. Meanwhile, it's Bance who comes away with the crucial double. Attaches there for the trade, and Cammy is also there for another. A great little break once more for Røkkr. They realize the P1 time is chalked. Let's rotate and grab some time again, and they're doing exactly that. And how annoying is this angle right now? Dylan Price puts in the nade, puts in the shots. Vegas just not standing a chance off these rotations.
Yeah, this game is starting to get away from them. You had Attach lay down towards the middle of the map. He knows that they're all spawning back kitchen. Just give your comms on the players crossing as Minnesota are starting to pull away in this hard point. Final 25 seconds on P2. You are Vegas Legion, you have to get the break, and now you have to win a couple gunfights off the rotation. It's gonna fall into the hands of ProLuke. He's able to take down 1, but look at the spawn coming in from Minnesota, all through the back alley. ProLuke, he's gonna be one shot, cannot win the gunfight. And that's another rotation over towards AC that Minnesota are able to win.
And that's just great work from Attach as well to win that 1v1. He holds up the spawns for the team again, and while Vegas does break the close out.
My God.
Over at that final hill, Røkkr do an excellent job of just reposition, right? Hey, we got broken on the last hard point. Cool, let's go ahead and fight for the early portion of what very well could be a full 60 hill. And quickly a problem for Vegas as ProLuke is gonna have to make some magic happen. He quickly drops the SMGs again. Continue to pile on the pressure. 200 seconds already reached for Minnesota.
We gotta take our time. We're just going one by one with leaving these individual gunfights, and none of them are going in favor of the Legion. Now the spawns are gonna flip, and this is where Minnesota could potentially chain this hill towards that P4 and close the game out right now. Beautiful hold as Cammy is holding down top PD. He has the cross. Unfortunately, he does get traded by Temp, so the spawn should flip in favor of Vegas Legion. But they just haven't been able to find a break. Clayster with that two-piece. You're going to be able to get this final 15, but it's almost at a 100-point lead right now for Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, if you're taking a look at the stats as well, it kind of indicates what we've seen so far. Just a lack of holds. Everybody negative, but specifically ProLoop right now. 11 and 20. There's been a lot of hype around him, how well he's played in this tournament. And right now, when they need him the most, it has not been the greatest of performances. It's going to take a heroic effort out of Vegas to bring this one back. This hard point, well, it can start you off in a nice manner, but as we've said, the breaks have been great so far for Røkkr, and I guess right on cue. Well, there goes another one. It felt like for a moment Vegas have locked it down. Røkkr quickly find 3, and they can win it here.
They can win it here. Now, if you are Vegas Legion, you have to set up a pinch. Unfortunately, Clay is going to drop. That player going behind planners. ProLoop gets taken out, and we just got to slow down. We're going one by one. You got to take your time. They are just picking you guys apart. Minnesota are going to close this one out.
Yeah, it looks to be that way. ProLoop trying to make some noise around the outside. You can see it from Vegas Legion. They're just getting destroyed right now with the speed. Attached for a little bit of some love at the end. And it was well controlled all the way through. Røkkr, not often do they win these opening hard points, but boy, did they in this series. A 250 to 136 dub here on aBeZy.
Minnesota just played that map really good. They were just making sure that they were always ahead of the game. Every time they needed to get the favorable response for a hard point, they always had the response. They dominated at that AC hill, and even with Vegas Legion rotating over towards piece 4, Minnesota found break after break whenever they needed to, and that's because they were just slowly picking them apart. If you're Vegas Legion, probably a little bit of jitters for your first game on the main stage.
Yeah.
Especially for the young guys, especially like ProLoop. Pretty sure online he's a .81, but so far at the major, he jumped all the way up to a 1.02. Has kind of a slow map number 1, but this is where you need to now respond going into the search and destroy, because Vegas Legion teamwork is just simply not on point in map 1.
Yeah, and I guess that's the positive if you are the Vegas Legion, is that thankfully at this tournament you have been able to rely on search destroy. Yeah. That is what has gotten you through a lot of your series up to this point, but you bring up a great little stat there, Jay. I mean, ProLoop's numbers have been great so far in lands. You do wonder, being on the main stage, being really in the limelight, and there's been a lot of highlight, a lot of people talking highly of his gameplay, just did not have it in this opener. And really for Minnesota, as clean as you can get. I mean, not only are you winning rotations, not only are you setting yourself up for success, but even when you're not winning some of these rotations, it just felt effortless in the breaks.
Yeah, you're winning your gunfights. And it's also, it has to be on the side of Vegas Legion. Their setups were abysmal, especially on that kitchen hill. Looked like they were going to be fully set up, but when one player drops, he's going to all the way spawn across the map, and that's not a great setup. The player dropped towards back kitchen, and then the second player drops towards back alley. So it's a 4v2 and towards the point.
You think it's more of Vegas not playing well rather than Minnesota?
Minnesota played great.
Okay.
Minnesota definitely played great in that map number 1. Everything they needed to do, it was all coordinated. Vegas Legion, it was just lacking on their setups. They won a couple rotations. They did great at the first P2. The second time around, they were spawning out towards back kitchen, but they could simply not find the break because Cammy was holding down that street to the T. So now that you get that map 1 out the way, Vegas Legion now need to respond because this is difficult. It's not like you're going up against a slouch in Minnesota. Røkkr, they're great at search and destroy so far at this major. That's what's been their struggle, though, is they are currently 1-3. And the biggest thing that you have to do if you're Vegas Legion is just get that first blood, because on the opposite side for Minnesota, whenever they find themselves in a 3v4 situation, they only have a 50% chance at winning the round. That's awful. Even on the attacking rounds, if they're in a 3v4, it's 0% win rate. So if you are Vegas Legion, it's all about that first blood. And even if you're getting first blooded, try to answer really quickly and at least make it a 3v3.
Yeah, and that's really where, you know, you feel like on this team, that guy right in the center of your screen, Clay, so methodical when it comes down to search destroy prowess. I mean, we know what he can do. I mean, from a search destroy standpoint, from a strategic standpoint, even from a mentality standpoint. I mean, you can see it, Temp's smiling after the game's over, probably a little frustrated, and this is where Clay can come in handy, man. He can be down 0-2 in a control, and you wouldn't know it based off of how hyped that he is. And speaking of hype, how about the crowd here in Raleigh? Maybe a few fans on the other side of the stage for the Røkkr boys as they find themselves in a commanding 1-0 advantage. But I know we've talked a lot kind of more broadly about this upcoming Search Destroy. What can you tell us about Hotel, Jay? For those maybe watching for the first time, what can they expect when it comes down to this very map and mode?
Well, we know how Hotel is going to be played. As long as you're dominating top bedroom and bottom bedroom, it's going to be really difficult to get that bomb down towards A. But if you're going towards B, you just got to make sure you're winning your gunfights. Because if you get caught off guard, if you only have one player playing towards the site and 4 players are pushing you from Diner, it's a very difficult retake, especially for Vegas Legion. Whenever that bomb goes down, they only have a 40% win rate in retake situations. You cannot allow Minnesota to get that bomb planted, or you're going to have a bad time. And if you are Vegas Legion, I think the guy that I'm definitely looking at is Clay. He's so far at the major. He's been putting up the worst KD for the roster, but he's a 3-time world champion. He knows what it's like to be in these moments. Like you said, even if he's down 0-1, 0-2, he's never gonna give up the fight. But this is where Vegas Legion needs to respond, because that Fortress control in general has not been good for Vegas.
Yeah, by no means is that game 3 reliable if you are the Vegas Legion in this spot. We talked a lot about Clay, and for good reason. The longtime vet, the oldest player in the league, definitely not affected by an 0-1 scoreline. And I got to imagine when we talk about a Hotel Search and Destroy, he's probably going to have that sniper out as he heads toward his primary spot in bottom lights. The stun is there. And will we be greeted with a sniper off the rip? We talk about momentum, what a first blood would mean. His longtime teammates, Clay and Attach, very, very close to each other. He knows he's there. He knows he's there.
Timing on this one has to be perfect. Attach is not trying to give up his life easily. It's looking like Minnesota on this early attacking round are just trying to get a feel of how Vegas Legion are playing. What's their setup going to look like? And Temp at least finds the first blood. Afro with the trade. Now pay attention when that bomb is down. All the way at couches. So now you have to work towards that side of the map if you are Røkkr.
We were taking a lot of look at Clay. He'll make his way onto the A site. No things are clear for the moment, but Vegas down in numbers as they look to roam through the middle side of the map. Very well could be eyeing up a rotation over toward that B site. So ProLoot and Clay, communication going to be important. And right now it's going to come onto the young gun to deliver the news. Spots Afro inside of mid, gets the information, and maybe realizes now's the time to pop Denny. And Clay, he will fall. It is all on to ProLoot from this point out. Oh, nearly found the second. Røkkr close it out.
Good work from Røkkr to slow and steady wins the race in round number 1, just to get a feel of how their setup is going to be. You find that first blood, and then you immediately find a trade, at least put yourself in the advantage in the 3v2. You pick up that bomb, you attack it over towards B, and at least Afro played it super patient on that late flank. He knew that Clayster was the guy that was still playing over towards that A bomb, especially when you take him down. All left up to ProLoot in the 1v3. He takes down 1, but the trade is going to be in. Minnesota, round 1.
And it just makes you wonder, man. Like if Clay hits that early sniper on Attach, like how different the round can go. We talk so much about first bloods with this Røkkr team. Thankfully, they're able to strike. But we flip the sides. Now it's Vegas, who will be on their opening attack. And Attach has really got all the information that he needs, giving those bits of info over to the teammates, as he is the sole man at this A objective. And that is why Vegas are going to go away with the free plant.
Oh, they're going to get a free plant, and just look at the positioning of Temp, playing that late flank. He knows that Bance always likes to hit that route. Finds the first for Bull with the second. Clay with the third. Now it's all left up to Afro in the 1v4. 30 seconds.
Oh, 30 seconds to go, but he's on a 3-0. Okay, nice little dolphin dive, 6 HP. No big deal.
Moving.
How is Afro alive? I know he dies, but for God's sake, this man is slippery.
Great play call coming in from Vegas. They earned those trophy systems going into this attacking round. Play super aggressive in towards bottom bedroom. You get the repositioning coming out of Attach, and then you get that bomb planted. Attach is the only guy on that side of the map for Minnesota. So Vegas Legion are able to take over that A site and dominate it. Now tied at 1-1. Minnesota have to make that adjustment, because it looks like it was all out aggression for Vegas, and they look confident in that play.
Yeah, something to think about if you're Røkkr as you jump into a defense after this round has concluded. But 1-1 as we head into round number 3. As we said, a big S&D already for Vegas. ProLoot off to a much better start, as he will strike with the first blood. Now a 4-1 for Big Byron, as Røkkr left in a pretty awkward position. They sent Afro forward, and I tell you what, man, there is not a lot of players in the league who can just get sent forward and take down an AR in a head glitch like that. Solid work so far from this man, and he could be in a spot to maybe find another one.
He's put himself in a great position, but that dead silence is about to run out. Prolo also pops his dead silence across the map, but he might have a gunfight with Cammy. Player watching that late flank. 45 seconds to work with. Afro in a great position to at least maintain top bedroom control, but the dead silence is gonna get popped from TJ. He finds that second kill, 3v2.
Oh, but Cammy is able to find Prolud, who was on that flank. Again, you mentioned the player. It was Røkkr dead silence. He eventually does get found. 2v2, Clay and Tej versus Attach and Cammy. With 25 seconds left, it really feels like for Røkkr, not a whole lot of info over at A. The only likely position could be over inside of the restaurant. Now Tej is the player. Tej is the man who can make the play to set up the round. Finds a crucial pick, and can he escape with his life? Cammy, realizing such, maybe is gonna have time for the play. No, he's not going to. Tej runs right into the gunfight, and all Clay has to do is not move. Vegas, 2-1.
Great work from Vegas to get that first blood, and then even when it turns into a 3v3, Clay and TJ played it really slow towards back plat. TJ was waiting for that dead silence to be earned. He knew that Afro had to be in top bedroom or bottom. Finds the timing, finds that second kill. Then into 3v2. Eventually turns into a 2v1. Cammy simply did not have enough time to get that bomb planted as TJ read the play beautifully. Vegas, 2 rounds in a row now.
See what they can do on this attack. We talked about how Minnesota can possibly adjust and not have enough players at A last time around, and they only do have attached still toward the top bedroom. You do have player 6, player 7. That's Afro and Bance. The SMGs trying to work together as they begin to shed a little bit of a spotlight. Now over toward the bottom side of the map. Again, take a look at those arrows, bottom left side of your screen. We are about to converge. We are about to enter into a gun engagement. Just shoot some shots. I won't say anything.
He's waiting. He knows that Afro, he did have a play so far in the season where he just pops that door open and gets that player off site. But now, once he closes that door, he knows the positioning, able to find the first blood. So now Vegas Legion in the man advantage. They have temp sending all the way across the map. It's only 35 seconds to work with. You eventually have to work this bomb plant, but fortunately, Bance with the repositioning towards bottom lights, he finds 2.
And that's really what ultimately changes the round numbers quickly. Favor the side of Røkkr. Attached there, able to find his first kill of the S&D. And now it's all on to Vet and Clay. Thankfully, bomb on his back. And he does have a bit of info in terms of where Attach has gone. And I believe Attach does get the sound cue. He knows this plant has got to be going down nice and soon. Clay, can he get this one down? Can he escape with his life? Able to drop it, but Attach is there. We'll take down Clay, put in the defuse, and now we've got ourselves a 2-2 game.
And right there, if you're Vegas Legion, you had a lot of map control right there. You have plat steps. You're already pushed out. TJ finds the first blood. They just wasted so much damn time. They need to get this bomb down. By the time they went for advance with the repositioning towards bottom lights, he's able to line up 2 with the TAC 56, and this makes the round a whole lot more difficult. Temp takes down 1, but then it all falls into the hands of Clay. He has no dead silence to work with. It's only about 12 seconds left. You split if you are Minnesota to make sure that bomb doesn't get planted. But Attach finds the timing, and Minnesota tied up at 2.
And it really is. I mean, when you're on land, you got to make those quick decisions. You got to be prepared. Sometimes you just got to make the play, tell the teammates, hey, this is what we're doing. Vegas, they get caught off guard. Bance comes away with 2, and he'll carry that streak on here into round number 5. Cammy brings out the big boy. Has got the shot potentially lined up. How in the world does Temp find that pick and somehow stay alive?
Temp is definitely a confident player. Wasn't worried about 2 players shooting at him. He said, I'm getting this one, and I'm going to be able to stay alive, as Bance is also going to drop. Now it's all left up to Afro. He already invested the dead silence. He finds himself into his top bedroom. Position is going to be known and cannot hit the shots onto Clayster. Great response right there from Legion. 4 up, 4 down. Clean round. 3-2 now.
Don's only getting shot at by 2 people.
He wasn't scared.
No, he wasn't. He only had a sniper bullet whistle past his ear. And he's like, yeah, I'm good. I'll walk away with the first blood. No big deal. And he also stays alive. Confidence being displayed from the 3-year man under this Legion franchise. You can tell, man, he feels it. He feels the confidence. Feels the shift in the air for this Legion franchise. Now they put themselves in the driver's seat. Into the next round we go. Legion will be on the attack. Røkkr eager on the defense. Last time around it was Bance in this very same spot, who was able to put away a few early. Tagged up, has to reposition. And Prolud, you can tell he's hungry to get that bomb down.
He should be able to get it down for free because I'm pretty sure Attach puts himself into his top bedroom.
Okay.
Great shots coming in from Clay to find another first blood. So now in the 3v4, if you're Minnesota, someone has to make a play. You eventually have to work towards this flank. And Donnie Temp, Mr. Don, he's ready for it.
Oh, he is. Question is Cammy gonna make his way through the big doors? He will indeed. Temp tags him up. He's gonna have to be aware of his position throughout the remainder of this game. TJ as well. Initialized over at the desk, 25 seconds, time continues to tick away. Great pick, granted there from Afro. Where is Temp hiding? Afro eventually drops now. It's all on to Bance and Cammy, nice and quick, here come the fights. All on to Bance now. Not enough time, he has been here this entire round. Legion, shut the door again.
Off the back of another first blood. Once you get that player down and attached, you know that he's the only guy that's been covering this A site. You get that bomb stretched, you get it planted, and it was a beautiful setup right there from Vegas. They had crossfires on crossfires. Fortunately, TJ got some bad timing in towards middle arch, but Prolu had Clay's back. Temp had Prolute's back. And then eventually Prolute closes out the round. They made the adjustments, they got the bomb down. Now up 4-2.
How about Prolute's performance? We talked about it, a stinker, really, in game number 1, a 7-3 performance. So far in the S&D, and I guess we're back to basics. TJ, another first blood, that spells disaster. If you are a Røkkr fan, considering the way that stats have worked for them in these 3v4 spots. Bance, he gets a world of information. We'll see if he's able to deliver on it. Dead Silence does run out, and Prolute has got a tack waiting for him. Another pick on top of another pick. And Clay seals the deal. Clean S&D right now from Vegas.
The adjustments, man. They're coming in beautiful right now for Legion. Another first blood. Everybody backs down.
Right in the wrist.
They make the round a lot more difficult, but I thought Bance, he had an opportunity to at least find one, especially because he had the Dead Silence pop. By the time he makes his way towards Kitchen Alley, Prolute reads it beautifully. Dead Silent runs out. Just another clean round from Vegas. Minnesota just stopped. They got to stop getting picked, man.
Yeah.
They just simply have to.
0-7 in first bloods right now at Røkkr. We'll see if they can start to get something going, but it all starts with these early engagements. TJ again strikes first. Bance will decide to bring out the boom boom stick, but fortunately for him, no pick is found. A lot of action going inside of the restaurant. Prolute runs right through the door, and he doesn't even need TJ's help. 1v4, this one's basically done. I mean, Bance, his position is known. Legion coming out hot in reply in the S&D as they make quick work, and Clay is on his feet.
Oh, that was a dominant search and destroy from start to finish. Vegas just make the adjustments. They knew that Attach is the only guy over towards that A side. We take him down, bomb plant is gonna be free. But just their setups in search and destroy, you had the aggressors in the SMG, TJ with multiple first bloods in that match. That's unbelievable. Not a single first blood
not one.
for Minnesota.
Not one.
That's awful. When they find success in S&D, it's always on that first blood. 58% at first blood for this squad leads to an 88% win rate on the round. But when you find 0, a fat donut, yeah, this is what the scoreline is gonna look like. Vegas Legion, they come out swinging in the search and destroy, tied up at 1.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell, like, the wheels returning for Røkkr. It's just once they lose an initial player, it's something that they have been struggling on mightily so far throughout the tournament. That is not going to get adjusted whatsoever. And I believe that record for Røkkr now in S&D sits at like 1-4 on the weekend.
Yeah, the major. That's crazy to think about because they were one of the strongest teams that we had in Search and Destroy. But just that little piece of that first blood, if they're not getting it, everyone else has to now slow down. When you find yourself in a 3v4 situation, you want to try to even up the numbers as quick as possible. But then when your second player drops and it turns into a 4v2, you need a miracle if you are Minnesota because every single player likes to take their time. They're always trying to play for the clutch, but Vegas is just picking them apart one by one and played that S&D flawless.
Yeah, they do indeed. Vegas, they needed an answer, and boy, did they get it in spades. They answer big in the search and destroy, but now we find ourselves at an even series, an even ball game. When we come back after the break, we are headed to Fortress Control.
D2. Fucking shit on. Up.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with a Scump, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Howdy friends and welcome back to day number 3 of Major number 1. It is a packed house here at the Raleigh Convention Center. North Carolina has shown up here for the Major. It's been a blast of a series, it's been a blast of a weekend so far, but it's time to take a look at our Scump play of the game. Vegas Legion, Minnesota Røkkr, and Jay, it was all Legion in this round.
Yeah, they're on the defensive side. It all starts with that first flood off to TJ. He plays aggressive through single. Arch finds that first kill. And this is where the situation where Bance has that dead time. He puts himself in towards cat room, and he has half of it left. He spots at least one player, but does not want to risk dropping down towards the bottom mid. By the time he makes the decision, the repositioning from Vegas are able to take him down, and now it's a 4v2. Afro has to try to make a play. Temp is ready for it. Then it all falls into the hands of Attach in the 1v4. He has a great chance, but Placer lines up the sniper shot.
Get on, baby, come on.
Old man Jim, Mr. Clay, 3-time world champion, putting on with that sniper in map number 2.
He was indeed, man. He was indeed. And he was the guy that you mentioned. Like, it was like, hey, who are we going to look out for? Who from Vegas can kind of light the spark for this team? It was the 3-time. He shows up, especially toward the end of that round. He and ProLuke put on a phenomenal performance in the S&D, and now we are all at level. Coming into Fortress Control. Tell you what, man, these teams got some history on this map.
Yeah, they do. Minnesota were able to beat them the first time around on this map in a 3-2 all the way around number 5, and it was just that defensive hold. If you know how to play Fortress Control, everyone in the CDL mosh pit, it's very, very difficult to win an attacking round, but if you can complete any segments on the attacking side, the job is already going to be complete. But with now Vegas Legion starting off on defense, we need a great hold. They find the initial 2 kills, and you want to try to put them in the trap. That's going to be 3 down. And this is a perfect start to this harbor.
Yep, and well, we already talked about it, and there it is. The trap is set, and now it is all about Røkkr. How do you break yourself out of this box? Oftentimes, it comes from the very position that we see ProLuke in right now. You got to get in through maps. You got to make your way through one of these doorways, whether it's at P5 or whether it's through that opening gate. And great work from Cammy as he starts things off with 2. Problem being is, got a whole lot of teammate support there for the instant trade. DJ already with Daddy trying to cause some problems. 40 seconds off of that clock. And a continuous array of kills granted once more for Vegas.
That's another 3 dead. Already 27-20 in lives remaining 30 seconds. And Minnesota have not been able to leave their spawn. They find that initial kill on the Clay. Fortunately, the trade does come in, but that's going to be 2 dead. So now they can find an opening and a team kill as well. So it's all going to fall into the hands of ProLuke. He's going to hold down this A-Cross. He at least gets the first, but Minnesota are able to break out for now.
Oh, for a moment, it so Clay. He was like, wait, this guy's dolphin diving on me? Okay, no worries. 10 seconds to go. Røkkr, you got to make a move. Is it going to be A? Is it going to be B? They found the pick set they need. And now, this is where the job really starts. Bance, yep, he gets picked apart. Only man inside of the objective is going to be Attached.
You fly.
Hanging out over at B. He drops, and that will be it. Silenced are the Røkkr and their opening attack.
That's just a perfect defensive hold right there from Legion. Once you start off the round by getting 3 dead, you're basically already in the trap. Minnesota can simply not find any kills to get out of it. And that's exactly how you want to start this control if you are Legion. Now going into this attacking round, they will have some trophy systems off the rip. So potentially try to break out towards the right side. We see NYSL do it flawlessly every single time. They like to attack through close arch. Pop that trophy. Everyone flood out towards the right, but now Minnesota need to respond with a dominant defensive round in their favor as well.
And based off of KD, I mean, Minnesota have been strutting in defense, in control so far throughout the season. The #1 KD, it's in the 1.2 type of region. We'll see see if they can flex their muscles again. Really,
31
Vegas,
seconds.
they already got the segment. That's really what you wanted. You at least want to have a one-up over your opposition. Job already done, and we're less than 10 seconds into this round.
And Minnesota, they haven't been able to get them off to the same point. TJ's just staying alive and towards the back of the truck. The second segment is going to be in. Beautiful crossfire being set up, and that's going to be 3 dead. Legion doing exactly what looks to be impossible to start off by capturing this 8 point. Now they have 2 minutes and 15 seconds to work with, and Clayster already finds himself at stage.
Uh-oh. Clay's already here. Clay's already here. Tosses down the trophy. A great gunfight victory there for Bance as the pieces will begin to fall. But job well done off the rip here for Legion. As Simp, the only player really behind enemy lines. He's on 9 in a row. Don is frying. Eventually does get left out to dry, but nonetheless, as we said for Vegas, I mean, you've done the work that you needed to. You got the full capture at A, and now you've got 2 minutes to really hammer away at this B zone. A much easier job, rather a much more difficult job, easier said than done. We'll see if TJ can try to lead the way as he's having a phenomenal game right now with the Bats.
Yeah, TJ just finessing with the Bats. That can't win the gunfight, though.
Yes, occurs.
That would have been the opening for his teammates to potentially push out towards Big Arch. But all of Vegas, they're just able to sneak on right by. ProLuke finds that initial kill. Now you have full street control. TJ with some great shots to at least take down the second, but Cammy still causing problems in towards bottom arc. They're keeping the trade stagnant, so Vegas cannot find a clean way out. It's Cammy, he's not slowing down, man. He finds another in towards bottom arc with the Baz.
Hey, man, this Baz is pretty fun. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Attack, yeah, it's pretty nice, but we very well might be living in an SMG's world already. As Vegas are going to prioritize attach here in the back. Great work. Put some tags into a few. As we are all level when it comes down to lives. 50 seconds still to go. And Legion have yet to get really anything going at that B zone. As Bance causes some problems. Simp strutting again over toward top green as he instantly gets prioritized and thankfully gets focused from Minnesota. Here come Legion.
They're able to get on the point. Unfortunately, a team kill does come in from attach. TJ does find seconds, so now it turns into a 2v2. Attach at least makes up for it by taking down Clay. But just pay attention to the lives remaining 8-7 in favor of the Legion. You still have a couple players who will push down towards the spawn, but Bance is able to hit that flank. He finds 2. Last player in towards stables is going to be Tempest with about 20 seconds left. No more respawns remaining for Legion.
Able to work with 2v6. Temp and ProLuke, best of luck. You also don't want to feed streaks. And that's what ends up happening. ProLuke will drop. And it's all on to Temp, who, tell you what, man, he's had a phenomenal map, but a 1v6 would definitely be a career highlight. As he will drop. Vegas Legion, well, they lose the round, but by no means are they in the back seat when we talk about this game score. 3-0 right now is the segment.
Just a beautiful start to that round for Legion. Pop that trophy system out towards Archway. You get out towards A, and then TJ just never dies. They were making sure that they stayed alive, had multiple crossfires set up, and Don right now is making it rain at 16-8, double positive, 2.0 KD. He does have a streak as well to work with. And if you are Vegas Legion, you just need to dominate that like the way you did in that first round, not allow any seconds.
I mean, not only is he making it rain, but he could be the MVP of the game.
Oh, he might be.
He might be. I think it's fair. I mean, a 16-8 scoreline doesn't get much better than that. Here we go, quickly into round number 3 as Røkkr forced their way. They shoved their way directly into that B zone, but they are greeted with some shots from the other side. And a great job again from ProLuke. These picks are everything. Really, if you are either side at this moment for Legion, holding on to defense. Røkkr just trying to get Vegas to budge. And last time around, it was not good. The nice stick from Temp. This guy cannot miss.
Don isn't making any mistakes right now. Already finds himself on another 4 spree. Attack 56 is usually not going to be great in this position, but a couple team fires coming in from him and Clayster. 20-8. Only 40 seconds remaining, and Minnesota still have not been able to get out of the spawn. He finds another. Tempest just taking over in this map number 3.
He just pulled out the knife and said, somebody kill me, for God's sake. Cammy's at least able to find 2, but now it's on to ProLuke again. Not a single segment has been captured from Røkkr so far in this game, as they have got to get a move on. Somebody's got to make a play. A pick has to be found, and here comes a potential streak, maybe. I thought for a moment, maybe just a day, who knows? And there it is. Temp takes down Attach, and Røkkr bruised and battered again. No segments to speak for.
Oh, this is difficult. So now if you are Minnesota Røkkr, just have to win your defensive round, but you know now going into that round number 5, you will be on the attack. You've not been able to find any success. The SMGs for Legion, finessing around maps the entire time, not giving up their lives for free. And when you see an AR player like Temp, who's currently just taking over on this game, 22-10.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta slow that guy down, man. You have to find a trade. Someone get a trade.
Somebody. He literally pulled out a knife and bought a maps and was just like, I think he was just overwhelmed. I was like, wait, am I actually able to die right now in this round? Okay, turns out I am. I'm just that different. Vegas instantly, and I mean instantly, rushing toward A with little to no adversity. Afro, Cammy have a big job to do. Onto the 1v1.
Oh!
Ends up taking it on a force spree coming into this next round. And can he find that big segment? Tips watching his back, and you bet they will. Vegas, a force to be reckoned with. Control has not been their strong suit, but they are firing right now. Not only at A, but they're also at B. Røkkr don't know where to turn.
Yeah, Røkkr have to at least stop one of these points. TJ's just finessing in this corner. He at least finds one. Second segment is going to be complete at A, but TJ at least finds one. And again, but now ProLu with that rotation over, he's on a 5 spree. That's already 3 segments down. This can get scary if you are Minnesota. You have to focus on where ProLu can be. Dead Silence is still going to be popped. He's able to find that kill, but the Semtex is going to stick him. So now all of Vegas Legion trapped in the spawn, but the SMG is playing so damn well. 16-13 from ProLu, TJ 18-10, responding after a terrible map number 1.
I was gonna say, if he finds that gunfight, we'll just go and end it off right here. Tell you what, man, Vegas, they are looking diff right now in this control. Still a big job to do. You haven't fully captured that zone over at A, but you do have 3 ticks to speak of. There is no doubt that if we do head to a round 5, who will be on that more preferred defensive end? It will be Vegas. And right now, the game begins to slow down. It's all about finding that pick. Cammy looking to do his best. ProLu peeking through the bottom side of the horse statue. Cammy doesn't really know where he's actually getting shot from right now. Time will halt, and now Bance has to make a play.
Bance has to make the play. But Temp at least gives the information of both of these players crossing. TJ is able to find the first, TJ finds the second. That's gonna be 3 down. Now A is gonna be done and dusted. Vegas find themselves up by 5 lives. It's all gonna be on to Attach. The first line of defense at least takes down Clayster. But with 1:20, currently up by 4 lives, you just have to slay. You have to win a couple of these gunfights. You have to at least find a clean 4 dead if you are Minnesota.
And you can just tell, I mean, Røkkr, they have a major sense of urgency. It feels like they cannot keep up. They cannot keep up right now with Vegas.
That's 3. That's all dead.
All 4 dead, and here comes the stack. Watch the zone begin to fly. Is this one done? Is this one over? Røkkr apply. TJ last one in, and they hold them off.
And now it's 10-6 in lives remaining. You want to slow this one down and basically play TDM if you are Legion. No, it's difficult that you have to fight out of this spawn, but it all starts with just getting map control. TJ's just going to fly on in. He knows the positioning in Bance. A little bit of assistance coming in from ProLu to find that first. 40 seconds left. Only 1 life on the side of Minnesota before there's no more respawns. Dead Silence going to be invested by TJ. Just 1 set of kills is all they need.
Oh, 1 set is all they need, but Minnesota get the favorable trades there. Ultimately a 3-for-1 Clay. He's got to make good on it. Able to find one onto Attach. Now a 5v3. 20 seconds to work with, and well,
3v3.
A few more begin to fall. Quickly into a 3 versus 3. It's basically search destroy, but that timer does get upgraded. How about TJ with the snap? Is he going to expect the player over at P1? Cammy may have just made the play, but
gotta get on the point.
5 seconds, you got to get to the objective. A 1v1. Bance, versus done, and Tim clutches it out for the team. What a map and what a close! And Clay, he is feeling it right now.
Vegas are fired up. It's not easy to win an attacking round on Fortress. But at least the 2 times that they were on that side of the map, the first time they get that 8-point done and dusted, the second time around, just a lot of pressure on the map. Minnesota simply could not find a clean 4 dead. A clean 3 to 4 dead is what's gonna put that team in the trap. But it was just perfect setup after perfect setup.
We gotta watch this again, Jay.
We have to.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but we gotta see that again. Break it down for a minute.
It's a 3v3.
I thought Cammy made the play.
3v3 with about 15 seconds. TJ puts a huge first gunfight onto Afro. Now it's only 10 seconds left. I thought Cammy puts himself in a great position, but then Clay's able to win that gunfight. The trade comes in, there's only 5 seconds. Temp knows that he has to get towards that site, but he was running out with the knife. He didn't even have the gun out. Hits the snap onto the final player. 31 and 17 takes over in the control, and you can see the energy. That's why you take a guy like Clayster, because that guy, he's gonna be roaring regardless of who he's playing against. And they take that map number 3, now in a commanding 2-1 lead in the series.
It's chills, man. It really is. I know they have walked away with the series, but just moments like that for this Legion franchise, who have struggled so mightily in these past 3 seasons, and then you see moments like that. Temp, who's been with this franchise for so long, when they come into this game 3, odds without question stacked up against them with how good Minnesota's been in these controls. Vegas, it's been their weakest mode, but Temp, their franchise player, takes off 31 and 17. Clutches out the 1v1, and they got the dub.
And the biggest thing that I'm looking at the stat line for Temp, he had 23 kills on offense. He was out there slaying with the best of them. Look at all of Minnesota on their attacking rounds. He has more than all of them combined. That's an insane stat from Temp, an unbelievable performance in this control.
That might be a record. Like,
without question. No.
Already, but
no. I think it was HyDra. HyDra actually had 24 kills on the attacking round.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, well, it's close.
But he was doing it with the fast step. That's totally different. You're able to finesse around art, use that SMG in those close range gunfights. Temp was doing it with attack 56. We know what Temp is about. We know what he was about all of last year.
Yeah.
The guy that was always going positive for this Legion squad.
And now it leads to results.
Yeah.
Right? That's exactly what it is. It
Beautiful
leads
to see.
Results this time around. And you can see, man, he doesn't know what to do. It is just all smiles. But the big thing, job's not done. How many times have we seen really every single player for Røkkr be in spots, whether it's been on different teams throughout their history? Momentum starts going to the other side of the stage. These guys know when to clutch up. Say what, man, I feel like if I was in Theory's position right now, I'd be like, guys, listen, I know we just pulled off an unbelievable clutch. I know we just had a wild 1v1 to go up 2-1 in this series. But we got to stay composed, because these Røkkr guys are going to come out firing in game 4. This is an elimination match, by the way.
Whoever loses this one is going home, man. It'll be difficult if you are Minnesota, because you were the #1 seed coming into this event. You end the online qualifiers by losing to Vegas Legion. And now you potentially are going to get eliminated at Major 1 by the same exact squad. Now taking a look at our maps and modes presented by GMC Hummer EV. Going into this Fortress hardpoint, this one's going to be tough, man. All the momentum on the side of Vegas Legion. The SMGs are firing on all cylinders. See the pep talk coming in from Looney. A wonderful mind in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You need to regain if you are Minnesota. Your tournament lives are going to be done and dusted right here.
Yeah, in terms of the coaching staff, one legendary SMG to another. As Røkkr, in desperate need of the rebound, as now all those things go to the side, right? The coaching speeches, all of that. Now it's time for gameplay. It's time to put up or shut up. Last season for Minnesota, it was about online performance, but when it came to land, they could not deliver. Are we about to see that same mantra be the case here at MW2? And Jay, for Røkkr, players to look out for. Who's going to lead the charge here for Minnesota if they can get this to a game 5?
It's got to be Afro and Bance, both of those guys with the SMGs in hand. You know how much pressure you have to put on this map. So I'm really looking at those guys to answer after not the best performance in that map number 3, but with Vegas Legion starting off on the better side. At least Minnesota are doing a great job of just winning a couple gunfights, able to get out of that trap. Already 10 seconds off of P1. Now this is going to force Vegas Legion to sort of back up. You do not want to flip those spawns and have that bad side going into P2.
Oh, an interesting challenge there for Bance. Clay actually ends up making it toward their bottom silos. So nice little moment there for Vegas as really Minnesota, they hand away the objective. And now, like you said, 15 seconds left. It's all about making sure that you've not let anybody get through. So you got to prioritize basically 2 points of entry. That's all you got to focus on for Legion. They will do exactly that. Basically an even game as we come in toward P2, and TJ in a big spot quickly finds himself at a 5 spree.
Already on a 5. TJ stepping up so far in the major. Fortunately, the stun is going to connect. Not able to win that gunfight onto Cammy, and Cammy's able to find 2. So now pressure from Minnesota is going to come in from the front. Vegas Legion have to hold their irons up. You have to win a couple of these gunfights, or you will get trapped in towards the back. They're still holding on. One player is going to be pitching, which is going to be attached. He finds that kill. That's going to be 3 dead in the feed, and the break comes in for Røkkr.
And that's what we saw right throughout that embassy. It was all about the breaks. It was all about those wonderful little moments as Tim decides to throw it down with Bance. Hey, you know what? This ammo, oftentimes I was actually running out of it in the control. Might as well go ahead and use my fist for God's sake, as Legion are able to break back in. But ultimately a good position there for Røkkr. They make life a little bit difficult, and now it's time for the rotation. And Jay, when it comes down to this hill, it feels like the first 30, you're loving life. Last 30 is where things start to get dicey. Both teams gonna have to be aware of what it is that you want versus what it is you have to give up.
You have to win your initial gunfights if you are Minnesota. One player drops towards double door, the pressure is gonna be, and you could potentially spawn all the way out. So you see Vegas just taking their time. Great angle right there from Bance to at least find the first. But still all out pressure towards double doors. Afro's now here. He at least takes down 2. But one player is going to spawn out. So now you have to focus on the front and aggression. And Claysters, he's not going to slow down. He does get taken down by Cammy. Beautiful gunfight from him to now allow Minnesota to continue to hold on strong.
Oh, and I love that Bance decided to rush through. Just make life a little bit more difficult. He's not able to jump back in over at green. So the farthest pushed up player for Minnesota ends up going bye-bye and equals out pretty much to a trade. Røkkr, they get the time. They basically get the full 60, but Legion right now, they control the rotations toward next.
And now if you are Legion, you have the spawns for next. You want to try to trap them as long as you can in towards the back of this P3. It's been a great response, a full 60 hold coming in from Røkkr. But now you have to get out of this trap. Currently down by almost 30 points. Vegas Legion is still staying aggressive in towards the middle of the map. Afro at least finds that opening. Now you have to try to take control of the street side if you want, and Cammy takes down Temp. So now that street pressure is going to be on. Big gunfight from ProLoot, a little bit of assistance from Clay. But now the pitch is here. What can Afro do?
Oh, and Afro is juking him out. Jumps right inside of the cannon. One last player. Inside of the back is Clay, and he gets wiped away right when Minnesota needs for their new addition to go off. He is doing that on 5 in a row and strutting right now inside of next. Great little work coming in from Røkkr. Let's go ahead and head to enlisted with the other side. A check-in with Legion.
Back forward lift. He's gonna be back door upstairs.
This is good scrap.
One shot, stage one Bance on top.
Let's get no weak. I spot P1, yo.
You still one shot on
I'm
top.
playing time with you. I'm playing all time.
Should be stage,
Should be stage 1.
I'm walking A2. A2, above you. And another one's still A2. Cubby, one shot. He's gonna die. Cubby's dead. There's another one A2. He's laying down right there.
Between A1 and A2. A2 dead.
One's gonna be P1. One's gonna be P1. One should be P1 right now.
Top corner, going top. A1 back stage 4. A1. He's A1 Cubby.
I got A W.
Spawn the back.
A2 W. A1 A2 W.
Nice.
One is still on art. One is still on art. Afro. Yep. I can pinch it down.
He's worried about me.
Got him.
A2.
Yo, top corner. Just stay up there.
A1 back to stage A2. He went A2 teach. A2 teach.
There's one in the back.
I'm flanking him. A1 dead.
There's one in the back, by the way.
Never killed me. Afro's still backstage. Afro's trying to play for spawns backstage. Afro's trying to play for spawns stage. Big one-on-one.
Have to stay alive.
You gotta kill
Yo,
Afro.
listen, Cammy is P1 as well.
All right, we've checked in there with Vegas Legion. Let's now throw it to the other side. A listening with the Minnesota Røkkr now.
Yo, PaulEhx on new on me, and the one's deep useless.
Yeah, what's
deep useless and PaulEhx on new.
P2T. No, P4 teach. Go connector.
I think Temp's
I'm
deep useless.
hiding top. These guys bottom maps. I'm gonna spawn you guys out.
Going front.
Nice.
Top boat.
I heard you. I'm playing the maps right now.
Clay top boat.
He's got trouble.
He's got trouble. He's top boat. He's weak top boat, Clay.
One from maps, one to go. Nice. Get across.
I got AP1, I need AP1.
Yeah, that's one.
From maps, Clay. When bomb up. Like a shit. Play some.
Nice. I know.
Gates.
Clay is
Gating on time. Gating on time.
He didn't pinch.
2-1 camp.
Three and last guy Clay. 3 and last guy Clay in the back.
Towards.
Play left do.
Yeah, I'm He's pushed towards connector.
Get this time.
Play left do. Good
Nice.
over the time.
Oh my God, the cows right there from Minnesota are firing, but attached with that TAC 56 is able to shut down that flip coming in from Vegas Legion. What a three-piece to take him down. Now Afro with this SMG in hand, they're able to get some time off of this P1, but Vegas Legion have done a great job just soaking up as much as they can. Afro cannot slow down with the Vaznev. And they have the spawns further back. You have to hold strong right now if you are Legion.
You do indeed. Afro eventually does get dropped. I mean, they were trying to control these P2 spawns throughout the entirety of it. It felt like they had it if you're Røkkr, but Vegas rushed on forward again. Down by 20, but that lead is starting to decrease. It's starting to evaporate. And by the way, Jay, this is not a map that, if you're Vegas, you've been playing very often. Like 1 rep and control on Fortress, hardly any reps, and hardpoint either. It's a lot to adapt to, but they are starting to at least get a bit of their mojo. Afro is firing different right now. 20 seconds to fight for, and it is a great position that you are in right now if you're Minnesota, contesting for late and now setting up for new.
Yeah, this is a good 15 right here if you are Legion, but no one was rotating. Last time Minnesota were able to hold down that P3 flawlessly for a full 60. So now you have to try to change the way you want to break this one. TJ finds that first kill onto Cammy. Gonna put the pressure on through double doors, but Cammy's still gonna spawn in towards the back. Does TJ catch his corner? He does, but at least the trade is gonna be there from Temp. Now, you've been putting on a lot of pressure. You can potentially flip these spawns, but unfortunately you don't win any of those gunfights. So now Minnesota in control of where they need to be. Now they're still holding on.
How did Clay just find that lane? They start to spawn out for a moment. We'll see the timing ends up working. The spawn out ends up favoring Bance, and yep, a great little play there from Minnesota. A quick little spawn out. A slight worry, but they're able to adapt. And boy, do they adapt accordingly. They're able to grab these final 20. That score is going to look that much more difficult here for Vegas. One of the better hardpoints, one of the more punishing hardpoints as well. We talk about Fortress HP. And right now, Vegas receiving the negative end of that, as we'll be at around 233. Legion, see if they can keep them in the backside of this spawn. That's really going to be the key at this point in the game. Try to limit Røkkr, keeping them in the back of the base, but you get free time over at cannons.
That's what you need to do if you are Legion. It's 17 points for Minnesota, forcing that game number 5. Everyone is able to flood out through big doors. Rolla at least finds one, but now they take control of Street. He's gonna fall into the hand of Clayster. He takes down the first into Cammy, so 15, 20 seconds uncontested so far. Try to get themselves back into this game, but with Afro in this position, he can cause them some problems.
Oh, he absolutely can. You see the great patience coming in from the young gun. He's able to wait, find his timing. Vance doing great work to find a few picks. Tagged up as TJ. Cammy there to finish him off, and it's an excellent break exactly when they need it. Minnesota 8 seconds away from victory. 5 now away from a game 5. As ProLoot dives on in, attaches there for the trade, and this one looks to be all but over. Does Vegas have any answers? Can attach, put him away. Trophy down. It's going to come down to this rotation now. Røkkr, one player's going to be here. It's going to come down to Afro. Last man alive. He drops. They wipe the board.
That's 4 dead. This game is far from over. You're basically going to have them trapped in towards the back, so the setup has to be strong if you are Legion. ProLoot in a crucial position in towards top maps. You have Temp who's watching double doors, and that's not the way you want to start this trade battle. 2 players drop from Vegas Legion. The pitch is going to be in all on to TJ, and Minnesota dominate in the map number 4. Now force the game number 5.
I think a lot of it, Jay, comes down a bit. I mean, we heard it in the comms. Like, it just felt not as organized from Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, considering that they haven't played a whole lot of respawn when it came down to this map, a lot of us were watching the scrimmages of this team to kick off the MW2 season, and they were always like, okay, I don't really know how the spawns work. I don't really know how to play this certain position, and I think maybe a lack of experience could be what ultimately gives Røkkr the advantage and now the forcing of the game 5.
Well, even of a lack of experience, I know you're definitely scrimming the damn map,
Sure,
so you
that's
got to
true.
make sure you're putting yourself in a powerful position for one of the best hills in the game. That P3, they didn't have spawns either time. Minnesota Røkkr able to hold that down for a full 120 seconds. And if you are Vegas Legion, you lose this game by basically 60. If you change that around and just get that spawn one time at that P3, or at least find one break at P3, the game goes a little bit different, but they just put a lot of focus on that P2 time. It was about 20 to 25 seconds left, even 30 seconds left. You want to have someone rotating out and trying to flip those spawns because you're consistently fighting over towards P2. Even though you get that remaining 15 to 20 seconds, you're going to lose big picture because now you're getting full 60'd on, and that's eventually how they lost the game.
Yeah, well, we talked about Røkkr. They needed an answer, and they had it from good old Afro. Puts up 31 and 19 as Minnesota able to answer again, back and forth as both of these Titans continue to exchange blows. We're starting off CDL Saturday with a good old Game 5 here on the main stage. When we come back after the break, it's aBeZy, Search and Destroy. friends, and welcome back to day number 3 here at Major 1. We have had ourselves an excellent start to this fine day. Vegas Legion versus Minnesota Røkkr. It's going the distance in an elimination match. Somebody's headed home, and somebody will advance here later in the day. Raleigh has been a wonderful, wonderful destination so far throughout the major, and they have been going wild watching these two teams duel it out. Lato and Study here on the cast for you, Jay. This has been a wild one, and honestly, the way that we kind of expected this series could go would be a Game 5.
Yeah, this has been a complete flip-flop for me, if you ask me. Minnesota win the opening hard point. They fall short in the control where they're usually fairly well at that mode. And they win the Fortress hard point to force this game number 5, man. This has been one hell of a series. One of these guys are going to be heartbroken at the very end. One of these guys will be feeling great. If you are Vegas Legion, at least based off what we saw in that map number 2, going into this Game 5, it's all about that first blood. You get that first kill, you put yourself in the man advantage, you will set yourself up for some success.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Now, I want to talk specifically about what this Game 5 is going to be on, right? We are headed to El Asilo Search and Destroy. These teams have faced off previously against each other, right? When we talk about the Major 1 qualifiers, and they played on this very same map. Talk to me, how did that one end up going out? What things should we look out for as they rematch here again?
Well, it's the first floods. What Vegas Legion were able to do, they were able to close it out in a 6-3 fashion. We know what Glacier able to do with the sniper as well. He got an ace in one round the previous time these two squads matched up. So looking at that, 3-time world champion. Try to bring them on in this Game 5. So far in Game 5s, the records for Legion are sitting at 2-2. They have won their last 2. On the opposite side for Minnesota, they have yet to reach Game 5.
Unfamiliar territory if you're Røkkr, not from experience sake, but at least from recency. As we head into round number 1, Vegas Legion starting things off on the attack. As we said, elimination game. As you head into round number 1, you gotta get focused, gotta be prepared. And that is another first pick coming in again for Vegas. That was the problem for Røkkr in that game number 2. Not a first blood to speak from. Thankfully, Afro's there on the reply.
He's able to reply, but at least Temp finds the trade. So now into 3v2. Vegas is gonna just plant this bomb down towards A. It's gonna be Prolu and TJ playing around that site, all left up to attach in Cammy. 40 seconds to work with. You just have to try to find a pick.
Two new teammates gonna have to work together in stride. That's not gonna happen. Instantly ruining the chances of what could be a clutch from Cammy, and not on either. Confidence there from Don.
First blood goes in the hands of Glacier, but then
my word!
Everyone tries to attack through field side, and Donnie Temp isn't missing bullets so far this series. Finds himself the hat trick in round number 1. Vegas Legion 1-0.
Donnie Temp really feels like he has been the difference, man. So far throughout this series, put up some, what were the numbers in the controls?
31 and 17.
31 and
23
17.
attacking round kills. That's insane.
He's been not necessarily carrying this team, but boy, has he been bringing them over the finish line a lot earlier than expected. Trying to give this franchise their best LAN placement since 2020. Back in week 12, the London home series. It's been a while since Vegas Legion have felt anything other than a top 8, if not less than that. Don firing again! My goodness! Not even with first shot, it doesn't matter, for God's sake. TJ puts another one in the dirt. Afro called upon. Not only has he found 1, but he might have to find 2. Doing more than just desserts, but he runs right into the fire of Prolu again. Bance, a sniper, having to pull out the pistol, a quick 1v3, and it is not gonna be easy. Starts with Temp, and it ends with the rest of the roster. Legion quickly in the lead, 2-0.
That is now 10 first bloods in a row and 2 search and destroy maps for Vegas Legion. Once you find that first kill onto attach, you saw that the players on Minnesota have to make a play. They try to get in aggressive towards that A site, but it was the 2-man stack from Prolu and TJ that shuts that down. And Vegas Legion not making any mistakes in search and destroy. Now up 2-0.
Right now for Røkkr, it's about trying to adapt. The biggest problem, as you said, man, it's just these first bloods.
Gotta stop getting picked, man.
Getting picked, and you gotta imagine, like, they're aware of the fact that they have not gotten first blood yet in this series. We'll see if it starts to slow down the gameplay, or maybe it starts to make them play a little bit quicker. It could be on the Afro to put that stat to bed, put that record to bed. As Legion have initiated pretty much everybody inside of the warehouse. Only man on the outside, it's gonna be Temp. He's looked great so far as we finally exchange shots inside the middle.
Finally exchange shots, and there goes Afro. The first blood in favor of Minnesota, but Clayster with the immediate answer onto Cammy. Makes it a 3v3. Prolu does pop that dead silence, but just gonna be able to get out, play with his team a little bit more. It's now Minnesota with about 30 seconds left. Bance is able to find the second.
Puts Temp to bed. That's sword off the brow. If you're Røkkr right now, get this guy off the map. Nearly the snap from Bance. Prolute able to answer. Constant trade so far has been the name of the game. So far in round number 3. 20 seconds to go. Afro again, another pick. And now it all comes down to Clay. A 1v2 versus Attach and Afro. What can he do? Trying to plant down the bomb, and Afro should be here. And yes, he will. It starts with Afro and it ends with him, giving Minnesota their first and their much needed first round.
Beautiful plays from Afro to attack in through courtyard. He finds that first kill and then just plays like a nuisance towards bottom pool. Eventually finds 3 on the round. And Minnesota finally get 1 on the board. Now down to 1.
Really, so far on the Røkkr side, it's been really that last round was a one-man show. It was Afro and Bance putting in the work. Right now, attaching Cammy yet to find a kill. Double donuts for them. Definitely not a cheers, as here comes Clay. The sniper is out. It delivered for him on the hotel. What was that 6-2 victory? However, on the other side, Bance here too, Clay! Not with 1, but with 2. A nice little double there for the 3-time.
Dash is at least able to take down 1, but Temp finds the trade. Now it's all left up to Cammy with the Vaznev in hand. The bomb is going to be down on the backside of courtyard. So it's going to fall into the hands of Clayster. I'm pretty sure that was a pistol.
Get out, Clay!
Old man Jim. Old man Clay, 3-time world champion. He's pulling gray hairs out of his head this morning. And just finds 3 on the round. What a snap onto Cammy.
He literally told Tim, look at this, look at this, look at this. Look at what I'm doing to these guys. What a round from Clay. A nice little hat trick as he will elevate Vegas Legion now to the 3-1 advantage. Momentum undoubtedly is in Vegas Legion's camp. Can they make it a 4th and continue to halt this solid Minnesota team? So far, as we said, yet to be in these Game 5 scenarios, as that started to get to them a bit.
Attack usage right there from Vegas Legion. Had a couple players from Minnesota. Now forced to rotate over towards that site. This is going to play beautifully. Now it's all going to fall into the hands of Cammy. He finds himself by Little Shack. Do Vegas Legion check this positioning?
Surely not.
He's getting all the sound cues. He's getting them all, but he cannot find that initial gunfight. Prolu with the first blood.
Oh, Bance trying to be there for the reply. Able to do so. Dolphin dives away, but of course, it is Temp. Legion savior so far. From the top, at least, is able to even out the gunfight. Numbers in favor of Legion. 25 seconds to work with, and it's going to be on a Temp to grab that bomb. Afro, a problem inside of the warehouse as per usual. Has done his due diligence. He's got his kill of the round. But can he deliver a few more? Breaks through those doors. Legion are going to hear that as now they begin the pounce. Attached from one side. Afro from the other. Shots begin to be exchanged. Attached with a nice pick. It's all going to be on the Temp now. He's grabbed the bomb. He's planted it for God's sake. Can he at least clutch it out? Can he at least clutch it out for Donnie? No! Afro, again, has to come away with these crucial kills as he has been the man to deliver the goods. Røkkr, stay alive. And what a difference that 1v1 could have made, Jay.
2 rounds in favor of Minnesota. All on the back of Afro. Making play after play on the defensive end. Now put them down 3-2. If you are Minnesota Røkkr going into this round, you know that KiSMET is going to be a sniper. You do not want to attack over towards field. If I was them, I would just be super aggressive in towards A and just try to get this bomb down immediately.
See if they listen to that. Clay on one end and Temp on the other. It is all about the warehouse for Røkkr, as you called it, Jay, perfectly. But are they going to expect this quick flank from TJ? He does not have dead silence, so Cammy very well could be aware of the positioning. This bomb gets planted instantly. It is all about the retake for Vegas. Everybody up.
40 seconds. TJ's gonna give up his positioning, open that door. He hits the stun onto Cammy. Stowed a nade out first, just in case he's gonna be a little bit hurt. But attached this time around, finds that first blood onto ProLuke, trying to hit that late flank. Now 25 seconds left. Temp at least makes it a 3v3.
Oh, teams, you gotta be kidding me! Escapes with 1 HP!
He's out to play. Attach is out to play.
15 seconds left, and Attach, he's nowhere near. It's gonna be all on to Afro once more. Did he lock down the site? Can he lock down the site? Teej is here. A 1v2 for Attach. Oh, he gets him off the bomb. He got him off the bomb. And Clay is not going to be able to do anything. Attach, steady shots as you'd like, comes away with the 1v2. And somehow, some way, we are all level again. Look at this.
Oh,
Look at this!
He was one shot, man. He just got into a gunfight with Afro on site. And he knows he has to sit that bomb defuse. KiSMET reads it beautifully. That first bullet from the TAC 56 registers onto TJ. You're able to take him down. And Minnesota, where the aggressors on that round, are able to tie it up at 3. They also got a first blood that round as well.
You'll take that. You'll take that every day of the week. If you're Røkkr, it's not come often, but when it has, it often leads to success. How about Attach? On the prowl, no data to speak for, and that is the reason why he is definitely going to be sore tomorrow. There is no doubt about it. He's made his way all the way on the flank, and that's the reason why Røkkr playing pretty passively for the moment. They're waiting for Attach to find the pick. It could have come on to Afro, however.
Attach puts himself in a great position. No one's watching that flank through courtyard side. So now he's just waiting for his moment to strike. Another first blood going in favor of Attach. Bance finds the second onto Clay. Now it's a 4v2, all left up to the SMGs for Legion. TJ gets taken down, and now it's ProLuke in the 1v4 with 35 seconds to work with. Does not have that silence.
He can hear people everywhere. You can tell he's just overwhelmed. He is overwhelmed with the steps, but at least fires through with 1. And Minnesota, how about the strats? Coming in from Attach, crawls his way toward the back. He finds that first blood. We said it's been the biggest key so far. He's able to drop it and delivers in the clutch spots in back-to-back rounds. As Røkkr now elevate themselves to the lead. 4-3. It's getting tense, man. It's getting tense. Like, you can just tell in the players' faces, we were all smiles to start off this S&D. We got Clay pointing at the screen. And it is an all-out focus now. Loser out top 8.
Love the tactical usage right there from Minnesota. They're able to take those players out of anyone trying to be the aggressor through courtyard, and TJ's at least able to get out with his life this time around. Temp finds that first kill. So now in the 3v4, Afro slowly trying to attack the first competition. At least is able to make it a 3v3 with that pick on the KiSMET.
Afro has literally been the player so far for Minnesota, it feels like, in this series. You've called him out as maybe the best SMG in the game. And that's not just from Respawn, it's also from the search and destroy numbers as well. Both teams not at full capacity, but it could be Minnesota making the play, making the rotation over at B. Temp could be the first one. Oh, maybe he can gain some visuals. He jumps out. TJ at least does find the pick. That's gonna be bombed. Temp's able to spot it, but Cammy ends up dropping him. Now a 2v2. Bomb that has to be accrued, ends up being snagged. And now TJ, he can make the play. He can make the play. Finds Afro and now puts all the focus on the Cammy. 15 seconds to go. A 1v2 still to clutch, but it's not gonna happen. TJ with the reads, TJ with the kills, and Vegas with the round.
Right there, I thought Temp had some really bad timing in towards top window, but TJ through bottom mid is able to find that kill, make it a 3v2, give the information that the bomb is going to be attacking over towards B. TJ, no hesitation on that play. Runs out of dead silence. His only focus is just getting that player off bomb, as Cammy did give up his positioning towards top AC. Take that player down. Only 15 seconds for Cammy to work with to try to get it planted or at least find both kills. He cannot do so, so Vegas Legion tie it up at 4.
4-4. Both teams got to be feeling the pressure, trying to stay focused. Somebody's 2 rounds away, a few rounds away from being eliminated. And Afro, take a look at the spot! Take a look at the spot from Afro! Delivering again! 2 picks on the SMGs from Vegas, and their heads are spinning! Make it 3 for God's sake! Wipe them off the board!
Afro is making play after play. You saw the way that Legion wanted to play it. They used the tacticals, that stun grenade, to try to at least get some information where he is, but lays himself behind that little desk, finds that initial 2-piece. Already job well done from Afro, but when he finds the 3rd, it's all done and dusted. What a play from Afro. The lifesaver for this Minnesota Røkkr in multiple rounds is now gonna put them at game point.
Unbelievable play. That very well could be it. That could be the nail in the coffin for this series. Is that what gives this roster the momentum that they need to get over the hump, to get past this very difficult Vegas roster? Temp thought he had the first blood. A nice little angle toward top office is not going to grant him the early blood that he was looking for. Based off that map positioning, Vegas, a lot of players stacked up inside of the warehouse. That's going to be ProLoot and Tej, who were made quick work of last round, trying to find a pick for their team.
50 seconds still on the clock. No one wants to get blooded. Super patient round for both of these squads. The bomb is slowly trying to attack.
Wait a second.
Wait a second. Afro with the route.
Oh, ProLoot! How in the world does he win that? Able to snap, but Cammy's here for the trade. An instant 2v2. 30 seconds to go, and a bomb that's gonna have to be planted. As it's all down to Clay and Simp for the Vegas side. Can they send us to a round 11? Bob Octane from Attach. And Clay spots out his legs. All on to Cammy. Can he be the saving grace for the team? Can he punch in the digits in time? And not gonna happen. The snap from ProLoot is what leads us to a game 5, round 11.
What a kill from ProLoot. I thought Afro, once he jumps off top middle plat, it's the first time I've ever seen that play. That kill should have been easy for him, but ProLoot with the headshot. At least able to find that trade, and then Clayster with that door opening. Knows that Attach wants to plant for a clutch spot. Shoots him right in the toes, and then with about 12 seconds left, Cammy in the 1v2. Does not have enough time to get the bomb planted, but here we go. Everything on the line. Round 11 for both of these squads.
Somebody's getting sent home. Somebody's got a date with destiny later today.
Sold him out.
As we are into this round, and it's TJ starting things off hot. It's Clay with the instant answer on to the second. Vegas running away with this round and running away with their lives. Get out of there, for God's sake. Make Minnesota have to work, and to work they will. Bance with the instant plant, as they will be able to escape. Vegas Legion all on the retake now.
You're in a 4v2. Dead silence is gonna get invested from 2 players. If you are Vegas Legion, you just wanna get some information of where one of these players are. Afro, he's gonna be down and dusted. His position is gonna be known. Bance putting out a couple shots. He's able to take down TJ. 25 seconds left.
Oh, Bance ends up falling. It's all on to Afro. Can he clutch up for the team? This would be a moment to remember, but no! Vegas Legion! With the old, in with the new. Game 5, round 11. How do you do? Let's go! A stunner here versus the Minnesota Røkkr. As Legion will elevate themselves to the best placement in franchise history since MW 2019. An incredible moment for the roster. And so often we've been talking about, is this gonna be a new Legion going from Paris now to Vegas? Well, after a big W like that, there is no doubt we're not gonna forget that this is completely a new franchise as they get the dub and send Røkkr packing.
What a photo finish to a phenomenal series from start to finish. Vegas Legion do what they need to do. They take down Minnesota Røkkr in 2 search and destroys. It was 5-6 in the first blood column. And it was all about Vegas Legion in those final couple of rounds. They knew the way that Minnesota liked to play it. Attach was that guy that goes little shack towards courtyard every single time. They solo him out. They use the stuns. They use the nades. They get the first blood. Then once Placer pushes up towards field side, they make it a 4v2. You find that first blood versus a team like Minnesota, you're usually gonna find some success in search and destroy. What a series from Vegas Legion to stay alive in this tournament.
And you can feel it too, man. Like they just had a new level of confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence that we have never seen with this Legion franchise previously. They come into a round 11. And how often do we normally see Game 5, round 11, the last thing you were to do is get picked.
Yeah.
And what do we see from Legion? They just go out, be all aggressive. It's a new Legion team, man. It is.
It's beautiful to see out of this Legion squad, man. Top 6, best placing ever for this franchise, man. Very typical performance from start to finish.
Without a doubt, a solid victory here for the Las Vegas Legion. As that is going to do it for us, we now send it over to Blaze on the main stage, and he is joined by the 3-time.
You're right, I am joined by the 3-time here. Give it up for Clayster and Las Vegas Legion as they get this win locked in. Clay, it's a pleasure, big fan, to have you back here on the main stage. When it comes down to that round 11, I want to hop right into it, okay? What was going through y'all head there, okay? What was the strat? What was the call?
First off, this crowd is lit. Y'all are dope. Y'all are dope and energetic, yo. But going into round 11, man, I mean, we've been here before. There's nothing like a game 5, round 11 on main stage to get the juices flowing. So honestly, we were just calling random strats and hoping it worked, and thank God it did.
Hey, it came through. You kept them on your toes, and you kept this, you know, the energy in the venue throughout the entirety of the time. What does it mean here for the Las Vegas Legion, a new look? You got a team full of Rough Riders here on your squad here who want to just get it done and get it chipped. What is it like to play for them?
It's awesome. I mean, we're a group of guys with something to prove. I mean, everyone had us dead last. Here we are, top 6 now, seeing if we can make a little run. Already have more wins than Legion had last year. First stage, you know, I'm just happy that we put our heads down and got to work, you know. It wasn't a good off season for me at all. And so to come back out here, to be able to perform for you guys on stage, you guys at home, it means a lot. So thank you guys.
And I was going to ask you, man, what does this season mean for you here, okay? You have had a long career here in Call of Duty, some of the best fans in the game. What does it mean for you?
You know, I want to go out with a bang, not a whimper, right? So I couldn't take being benched and then just ending my career. So I'm glad I'm back, I'm fighting. You know, I'm just happy to be here.
Hey, well, you're here. Ladies, give it up one more time for the Las Vegas Legion as they get it done. That's going to do it for us on the stage. Chris, take it away.
I love that man right there, Clayster, the 3-time world champ. He is here in his 14th season, and he has taken Vegas into the top 6, the first ever top 6 placing we've got for the Legion. And you know, they're not done yet. The question is, how many more Game 5s can you survive? Nameless, let's start with that Game 5.
Yeah.
What were your predictions coming in? You've seen the Røkkr and Vegas matching up on this map in the past.
Yeah, I had Vegas winning this. I thought that they're a great LSCL search and destroy team, and throughout this event, they've been a top 2 search team the entire time. You've seen the different looks that they were hitting them with, the setups that they had, the adjustments in the round 11, as small as just Clay pushing up, having that confidence. It was beautiful.
Let's take a look at that round 11 one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Game 5, round round 11. We had it on day 1. We're starting day 3 with it. Tunney, we talked about these initial nades, though. How smart was this opening from the Legion?
Oh, really well played, and the aggression coming out. It's something that you kind of don't expect, but you do. And we call out as soon as those nades go over towards Attach. We said he's dead already, but I absolutely love. I'm called it out at the beginning of the round. I'll give him his props. And Priestahh finds that
So
kill
aggro.
from there and just gets so aggressive. They don't expect it. They think he's been sitting back, and from there, and you're in a 4 versus 2. It's always going to be an advantage to your side.
It's always going to be difficult. And once you're in a 2v4 round 11, like nerves are high, do or die. I think Vegas Legion just played this final round perfectly. I think I just echo what both of you had said. They decided to be more aggressive. They were confident in the play call, and within 10 seconds of the round, they had all of mid-map control on every single lane covered, and obviously played their numbers and knew exactly where the bomb was planted for. So, I mean, capable out of Vegas Legion.
It got a little bit sketchy there, but with Priestahh running the wall and then the numbers at the end, Vegas able to seal the deal on another Game 5 as they send Minnesota Røkkr packing with a top 8 finish, hand.
Yeah, just a tough series overall. I mean, they come out strong in the hardpoints. This is a team we expect to be good at search and destroy, and while they fought back in that Game 5, just some of the different looks that Vegas was hitting them with, they're not able to adjust. And you can just see the passion dripping from the Vegas Legion. This is just a team that dealt with so much adversity. The tweets coming in.
Oh, talk that mess, Priestahh. The fans getting behind him. I have to ask, is Priestahh now the fan favorite remaining here in the venue? A lot of OpTic Texas fans are cheering on the former OpTic member in Clay.
Yeah, massively. I mean, it's really nice to see that there. 30 and flirty from Priestahh. I absolutely love to see it. And honestly, I just kind of wanted to touch on that other round. I love the play coming out from Afro, and I think it was round number 10, where he made that jump.
Oh, when he got turned on?
We all go, whoa, what's he doing that? But I know it was great up until the point he got turned on by ProLoot. Sends it to around 11. The rest is history.
Afro was such a big brain play there in that round 10 to even get him to round 11. At the end, it's Vegas moving forward in big part because Big Don Don is making it rain in Raleigh. Keep your eyes on the kill feed. He was all over it today, aLLeY.
Yeah, he was. I think when it came to this first hard point, I mean, the looks from Minnesota Røkkr were just too good. And the biggest storyline for Vegas Legion right now is the fact that they won a control. That has been what has been ruining some of these series for this team. Their search and destroy has looked amazing. Their hard point has looked great. Their control, though, they have found no footing. Well, they have found it in this series, and now we can only hope they've taken what they've learned from that map 3 and will continue to apply it in the rest of the day.
Nameless, as we take a look at the numbers, is there any doubt that Temp was MVP of the game?
There's no doubt at all in my mind, Puckett, especially what he's able to do in that control. You can see right here, 1.82, and the man in that first search and destroy was popping off as well. You know, while he put up some crazy stats, I gotta shed some light on that team. It was TJ Halley making the plays, getting pushed up in control, getting those initial kills, because to win that final offense, that